Hi and welcome to the Ring It On podcast. My name is Jordan from Exo Sounds. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we are talking photography again. We're back with another photo person. Please, everybody, welcome to the show for the very first time, Lochie from Lou and Lo. Lochie! How are you, buddy? Yeah. I do this every time, like it's some kind of like late night talk show. And I've been watching podcasts recently, and it's so much easier just to like, how are you?
How are you, mate?
Why do I do this? Welcome, mate. How are you?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Thank you very much for having me along. It's nice to be sitting here. It's very surreal. We were talking about it before we started recording, sitting down, having an actual human conversation instead of just talking about work at work.
It is because we have met, a couple of years ago now at least.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't always get along with other vendors straight away. But we've always had a good vibe from day one, especially when we started talking. John Mayer!
Yeah, and now it's just like this weird thing where we just make eye contact and wink at each other. But
I play, every time you're on site, a John Mayer song for you.
It's brilliant.
I don't do it most weddings, and I do it for you every single time because I know that you like it as much as I do.
I bloody love it.
I think it was at Frogmore where we first met, and you came up and were like, "You sound a bit like John Mayer," and I was like, "Really?" Probably because I've got his signature guitar.
And now knowing the person that you are, it's like, ooh, bit of a good compliment to start with.
There's a lithograph John Mayer thing behind your head.
The born and raised.
There's a one over there. There's two signature guitars on the other end of the thing, the pink and the grey. I mean, I'm obsessed with him because he's the greatest musician I've ever known, and he changed my life when I was a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah, that's a good story.
So, I think when you click like that, you just click. And he keeps on delivering the goods too. It's not like he's getting worse.
Yeah.
I think.
Better with age.
Thanks for coming. You are a photographer, man. You are one half of Lou and Lo. Yep. You are the Lo.
I'm the Lo.
You're the Lochie. Lucy's not here because she's looking after
my little daughter. Yes.
Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
How's that going?
Yeah, good. We crawled yesterday. Yeah, we also pooped on the floor yesterday.
A bare ass poop on the floor?
Yeah, bare ass poop on the floor.
That's how you
it was one of those pre-bath, you're disgusting after breakfast, and then she just, walk in the room. And
you've got a wild ride ahead. I was lucky. I feel like I'm glad I'm out the other side, but there are things you miss about the simplicity of just like getting through a day.
Yeah, I can imagine.
There's something really nice about just like, just clean the poo on the floor. You know, whatever you got to do.
Yeah. It is a glorious experience though.
Yes.
And it definitely already in the 8 or 9 months that it's been, I think it's changed both of us for the better. So
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's great to hear, man. So you are one half of another duo. We've had another photography duo on here. Husband and wife team. I'm a husband and wife team. It seems to happen in our industry. Why do you think that is?
Honestly, that's a really good question. For us, I can't speak for you guys. I can't speak for anyone else that you've had on or anyone else that's a sort of husband-wife team in the wedding industry. But for us, we met through photography. So
did you?
I slid into the DMs on Instagram. I definitely did. I've got no shame to admit that. At least
what do you mean? Met like at photography school or something?
No, neither of us
is that
had a photography education or
no
anything.
Photographers do, by the way. That's what I'm learning.
I think it's and not to throw shade, I'm sure there's people who have gone to uni and studied the arts and whatever else, but it seems like most people I meet have just been self-taught. But yeah, we both started just doing it for a bit of a laugh on Instagram, a bit of a landscape stuff. We both really enjoy getting out and hiking, and Tassie makes it very easy. Everything's very close. So I just kept seeing her pop up on Instagram. I was like, oh man, this girl's hot.
Yeah, nice.
And then obviously we hung out, and she's much more than just a pretty girl.
Yeah.
So
she's lovely, mate. I love working with the Lo. I love working with the Lo, but I love working with the Lo. You do sometimes work together too.
We do, not as much as we used to.
Why is that? Well, how does that work in the sense that, I mean, we'll get into this and we'll go through it, but like people often are, actually I'm seeing this way less, but there's often two photographers.
Yeah.
And that's how you kind of started as the Lou and Lo thing, but now you're quite often separated.
Yeah.
Because you don't do video.
Nah.
But we'll get into all that.
Nah.
We'll get into all that. So, keep telling me about, so you started off.
Yeah, so, wait, where were we at? Were you still talking about how I wooed her? Or?
DMs. No, how lovely she is, and you're doing the thing, because she's from Launceston, right?
No, she's from here. I'm from Lonnie.
Oh,
you got it the wrong way around. Sorry to Lucy. You don't have to apologise to me.
She's from here and you're from Lonnie.
Yeah. I moved down here for uni in 2016.
Because you're not necessarily. What are you again?
I studied pharmacy.
You're a pharmacist.
Yeah, so kind of a bizarre shift, isn't it?
It's a little bit of a shift, but like, it's one of those things. Like, I guess everybody that's been on here so far, it's like if your hobby, if there is a very obvious, like, if you're skilled at it, and then there's a way of making money from it, like there is with photography in certain elements. It's not like if you're doing something, like everyone's doing something on the side on the weekends.
Yeah.
It's just that most people can't get paid to play fucking golf. So there's a point there where everybody who studied something else is like, I'd love to get paid, but I can't. So whereas you picked up a hobby that also pays.
And it wasn't the intention, like for both of us. And we talk about this from time to time, and it's kind of, I guess, getting back to that origin story, for lack of a better phrase for it. But, we were just doing it for the love of it. And I think before we started dating or anything like that, we were just mates, and we hung out all the time. And like maybe from an external view, it looked like it was always going to happen, but it was, I think, I was definitely like, if I can date this girl, I would be like,
yeah.
But
is this at uni? You're hanging out together at uni? No, outside of it.
No,
just through
she never did uni, so it was we just met through Instagram. Like I said, I slid into the DMs and we started going on hikes and stuff, and a few adventures for sunrises and sunsets and stuff.
Both taking
very
photos.
Romantic. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and then we started doing a bit of work for like Airbnbs and things like that.
Yep.
Mostly for free. We were just getting like free accommodation. We weren't getting paid.
Yep.
Then eventually an Airbnb was like, we love your stuff you've been doing. We're going to do a fake wedding to advertise our Airbnb as a wedding venue.
Really?
We'd love to have you shoot it. We got paid like a couple of $100.
Nice,
which,
nice.
In
you got to start somewhere.
In hindsight.
It's the pub gig equivalent. It's the pub gig equivalent.
Yeah.
Everyone throws out $1 and then we wait for the youth to say yes.
Pretty much. But then we posted those photos after that shoot, and then we had people asking to do their weddings, which was never on the cards. And I think if you had asked us separately beforehand, we would have been like, God, no, we don't want to do weddings.
Yeah.
But
like most creatives,
bloody hell.
That's fascinating. So who was it, this like fake wedding, in the sense that, is it set up with like a bride and groom and everything?
Yeah.
Where was the Airbnb?
It was down like South Arm Way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was just...
Rustic?
Yeah, quite, yeah. But they had like a marquee and everything, and they just had this model couple that they flew in from Melbourne, I think they were from. God. So they made us...
Flying in couples from where you can't find two hot people in Tasmania. It's not that bad.
I know, it's saying a lot, isn't it? But yeah, I think I still look back and go, I think a lot of the credit for that was probably the model couple rather than the photographers. But anyway, exactly. It was just like a bunch of their mates and then these models, and we all just hung out, had dinner, had a few drinks, took a few photos.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a good way of getting into it. I think anybody listening who is a budding photographer, just set up a fake wedding, fly in some models, get an Airbnb. It's not a bad way of getting into it.
It's not. I think it's also important to be honest that it's not real. I think is the biggest thing, because I think I've seen plenty of horror stories or like these big American photographers who become big online personalities host these workshops, and then people try and post it as if it's their couples and they've done the posing, when it's like this big photographer's just posing the whole thing and setting the whole thing up.
Yeah.
So it's transparency.
So talk to me about that. Well, I mean, that's jumping ahead a bit, but is that like what is the? I can obviously think of the problem there, but what's the problem with that?
Well, it's just not. I don't think it's an honest representation of what the couple's going to get. I think the reason that we have Instagram, the reason we have a website is so that there's a
so what you're going to get.
Yeah, so there's a portfolio of work.
But is that not like me showing them me playing the best song in the best conditions? What's the difference there?
Well, I mean, I don't know how to relate. I don't know how to relate it to in terms of you playing music, because it's kind of like there's not a way that you can be playing or someone else be playing music and you claiming that that's you. That's kind of what it's like. Like you're still taking the photo.
Good work.
Which is fine.
Yep.
But if I'm just standing next to these other 15 photographers that have paid to be at this event and we're all taking the same photo of this couple that the photographer who's running the event is posing them, standing off to the side, telling the couple what to do, then it's not really your work. And that's not what you're going to produce.
It's more of a
wedding
training exercise, and you shouldn't be using it as like...
it's a proof of concept. It's, learning from people who've been doing it for a long time and are obviously very good to be doing these events. But, bit disingenuous if you're
I understand what you're saying.
if you're stealing someone
because
else's.
it's interesting because you're saying how you're doing that Airbnb for free. And it's
Yeah.
like I always say to there is a word of people that are taking the piss of going like it's an opportunity to come and do a shot, but also for a wedding photographer, you do have to get a portfolio somehow.
Oh, absolutely.
So you're going to have to do
Yeah.
some dumb,
Yeah.
cheap, free.
100%.
Mates.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just can't. It's like it's the equivalent.
Yeah.
I did before I got paid for anything. I did 8 years of flogging the pubs. You know what
It's
I
just
mean?
how it goes.
And then
You've got to do your time.
And weddings in the Blue Mountains for $200, and you'd be like, this seems good. And then you kind of learn your craft, and you go, and that's when you can't just skip the step.
No.
Make an Instagram.
No.
Fake a shoot, and then be like, I'm 10 grand. Or can you?
Well, I mean, maybe you can. Maybe you can if people want to pay for it. Then sure.
Yeah. So that's how you start your first, because most people
Yeah.
start out in the exact
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah.
I have discovered everybody from florists to celebrants have always just been asked by a friend or something, can you
Yeah.
please do this? Can you please escalate? And obviously there's a big difference between Airbnbs and and portrait photography, because you've got this human element. And that's, I think, the biggest thing I'm learning from photographers, beyond all the techie stuff.
Yeah.
Is you guys have to deal with this couple all day and make two people that never have done a photo shoot all of a sudden be models.
Yeah. It's a little bit intimidating. Definitely when you first start out. Like, even to this day, I still have a little bit of imposter syndrome, especially with posing couples, because you've got some guys around here that are just insane. Guys and girls, not just men, obviously.
What do you mean? Photographers?
Well, yeah, you look at people like John Gaz, people like Sophie Sullivan, Rosie Hasty, people who have been doing this for years and who are incredible at directing couples. And then, we're getting into this industry, and everyone feels a little bit of imposter syndrome, I'm sure. Like, it's unavoidable. Yeah. But to actually have to be the person that's standing there and the couple's looking at you and, the couple and the bridal party are looking at you like, what do we do?
Yeah.
We feel awkward. What do we do? And then, when they start saying that stuff out loud, it's like, okay, I've got to put my big boy pants on.
Yeah. And that's obviously a massive part of learning. Like, it's not the technical side or the framing or the aperture or the ISO. It's like literally going like, just move that arm up and go, or you can probably see sometimes that they're like stressing out in a minute.
Yeah. And I think it's like part of it's confidence. And I think our approach hasn't changed that much from when we started 6 or 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. We've always been like a more, I hate candid, but we will always try and be a little bit less hands-on with our couples, a little bit more like natural, relaxed, with a lot of movement, rather than super posed, artsy stuff. It's just never been the style that we're comfortable shooting.
Sure.
And I think part of that is like coming back to, we weren't super comfortable directing people, and it's just kind of how things have grown that we've got comfortable directing people in this way that we work now. So
you can't put a price on that experience. That's part of it.
Yeah.
So tell me about like what you would say your style is like. So it's not like, because you're very busy.
Yeah.
You're very busy.
Well, it's a nice problem to have.
It's a good problem to have. And I love that, because you're very good. But you start off doing sunrises and things like this.
Yeah.
And obviously that's kind of where you learn, I guess, the craft of the technical side, right?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, I think so. And it's a lot of exploration, I think, in terms of editing and how to use the software, like the techie stuff, like you said, learning how to actually use a camera when you don't have maybe that element of time pressure, or you're not mid-ceremony trying to figure out, oh crap, what's going wrong with my camera? Like, you can just do it. It's second nature at that point, because you've been fumbling around with the things for so many years. But yeah, I think so. It built a good foundation, and then to bring it into weddings, it's more just being able to adapt on the fly. And I'm sure like it's the same sort of thing for you. Like, even on the weekend when your decks just decided to stop working.
Oh man, we'll talk about that one second. I just want to check this still rolling. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, right.
Again, this is the stuff that I probably should edit out, and I just never do. Because I'm just like, it's a power out sometimes. And I don't know, okay.
Still working.
There's a power out because it's all on the same thing.
Yeah.
A dog came in the other day, and I just was like,
someone else's
What's
dog
up,
or
the
your
dog
dog?
No, our dog, but it was just like there causing a ruckus. So I was like, I'll edit that out later, and then I realised I just
never
didn't.
did. No, don't worry about it.
Yes, you can't ever out. Well, I say this to you all the time because I get really annoyed. Like, how much do I have to spend? How much do I have to fucking spend just to have it work every time?
Yeah.
And there's no amount of money. I've got this insanely expensive like wireless thing that conks out at sometimes when I'm at Frogmore in particular because of the radio telescope, I think. It just doesn't like. I don't know if that's true. That sounds like a conspiracy theory I've just made up now that I
Tinfoil
say
hat.
it.
Get the tinfoil.
Do you
hat.
know what I mean? But like, it's the only. It just conks out. And then the decks the other day. So I'm I'm about to get ready for DJing. The background music's playing. I've got half an hour to go. And just conked out. Like the software just wouldn't load. Like I couldn't drag a song and it just wouldn't fix.
Yeah.
And I literally updated the Mac. I sent Laura home to like get something. I was realizing that halfway like that won't fix a single thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's just nothing you can do. And again, I'm so experienced with all that tech that I would have done more in that 30-minute block than I reckon 99% of other people would even think to do.
Yeah.
I'm talking updating software, dragging things on, moving things onto hard drives, blah, 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 getting a iPad set up over here and the phone set up over here with using 2 channels from the decks to make sure that's all.
Yep.
I'm going to have to, most people would be like, decks are broken. I better call Jordan. You know what I mean? Like, I better call the boss and go, what am I going to do? But I got there in the end and you said the couple didn't know.
No.
There's no way.
No idea.
Yeah,
No
there.
clue.
It was a scrappy.
No
but you can't outdo that tech. But you can't, I guess what I'm saying is like learning that tech element after you know how to take a photo is experience based, essentially.
I think so. Yeah. And it's really just time.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's
exactly time on site, time under pressure, having the shit show happen, and dealing with it,
being able to read what's going to happen in the room. I think.
So yes, you say you're a candidate. So you and Lucy start off and you do some weddings, and then so let's talk about like what we've done with everybody else. Essentially, how are people contacting you much of the time these days? Is it an email thing?
Mostly email. Like we obviously have Instagram, and that's how we mainly market ourselves. People message us on Instagram all the time, and we just direct them to our website. So get in contact by email, and that way we don't lose messages on Instagram.
That's it, man. And how far out are you booking most people?
It's changed a little bit. I think for us, when we had our busiest season, sort of coming off the back of COVID, it was a lot like 18 months, even 2 years. I don't know what it's like for you, but now it's definitely closer to probably 12 months. I think is the norm. We're
here in Feb of 2026, and we're definitely hitting 2027. Feb is gone, and March is gone. And not gone, but like full for me and full for a lot of our guys. But November 2027 is now filling out, so it's that 18 months kind of thing. But I mean, as I say, it's a good problem to have. But so from that email, do you have your pricing on your website?
We do.
You do?
Yeah, we do.
You guys are crazy. I don't know. I'm thinking about doing this. I just don't know. Apparently the new generation just want to see it. But I'm like, there are so many variables that I feel like it would almost be disingenuous to put a price up there, because I'm going to put the lowest version. And because we have so many different artists and so many locations and so many,
that's difficult.
Are you adding lights? Are you taking off DJ? Is it ceremony canapes? Is it the full day? Is it Bell? Is it North? Is it South? Is it me? Is it lighting? Is it sax add-ons? How can I say, it's $15.90 plus GST? And then, because that's going to turn, because as a consumer, if I see that and then I hit like click, and it's
$3.5 grand.
That's a nightmare. That's
worse,
right?
Yeah. I think it's definitely a little bit more black and white for us, I think, than for you. And, it's like you say, everything is a starting from price. You know, you've got to put that asterisk when you're listing prices publicly. It's not always going to be exactly that cost if you book 6 hours or 8 hours or 10 hours or whatever.
Yeah, right. So that's how you do your packages too, always by time?
Yeah, time.
What's your most common booking time?
8.
Always 8?
Always 8, yeah.
And do you like a lot of the pre-shoot stuff?
As in getting ready, or
so tell me about what, and I know you're speaking for Lucy, I guess, as well. You're talking from like a perspective of what you two offer most of the time. So like, because some people, I've been talking to lots of photographers. They're like, they don't like it there early. They think it's a waste of time. They prefer to be there later. Other people think that like that early part really sets up the story of the day.
Yeah, I think there's definitely an element. I think that story piece is really important. I think some people don't care about the getting ready part of the day, and that's fine. Like, if you don't want us there to shoot, you're getting dressed into your suit and, mum doing up the back of the dress and whatever else, then that's cool. I think it's more that side of getting ready. It's more like the final touches, maybe you'll call it, rather than hair and makeup and, the boys
hanging from the tree.
Yeah, I mean, we'll always get those shots. We'll always get those kind of shots if we're there, and it's sort of, the girls love to get ready in their PJ sets, and we'll have a wine before and, have a bit of fun with it. But I think it is mostly like it's the last time you're spending together with your mates in preparation to this massive event that you've been planning for so long, and these people have been helping you get ready for and organise things. And, you know, it's nice to just be able to take an hour beforehand with your mates or with the girls. And, you know, usually it is the girls that get a bit more into it. But, you know, and just, you know, have a couple of nice photos, hang out. You know, it's a special
That is
special
a good
occasion.
piece of advice, actually. I haven't heard that given, but thinking of that as like don't be getting ready up until the last second you leave. Like really try and be ready and then sit back and enjoy. You know?
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, this is stuff that we talk with people about all the time. Like, it's part of the job is working through these timeline setups with people, and you know, you sit down and have a look and how much time we need. We usually know roughly what we're going to need with people and what we recommend, and we try and fit that in as best we can.
Are you always meeting the couples prior? So they're booked, so let's say they've gone through the process, they're booked in. Are you kind of interviewing them and they're interviewing you before locking?
No, I know
some people do that.
I know that's maybe controversial because I know it's. I feel.
Is it controversial?
I don't know. I just feel like a lot of photographers that I talk to. No, I know how you feel about it. I know how you feel about it. I'm on the same page as you, I think. Maybe controversial is a bit extreme, but I know a lot of photographers meet with couples before they book, and these photographers want to meet the couple before they book. And I'm more than happy to jump on a Zoom call or a phone call if you want to chat with me before you book, just to see, you know, I'm a real person. I'm a normal-ish dude.
Yeah.
You know,
good-ish.
Good-ish.
Good addition to ish.
But yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, what are we actually going to talk about beyond me asking a few, you know, copy and paste questions about you, your relationship, very surface level stuff as far as like our business relationship, I suppose, is concerned. Like, I find much more value in catching up with people closer to the date.
For sure.
You know,
100%.
when we can sit down over a coffee and we can sit there for an hour and a half or whatever, we can talk through what's been happening in life, how you're going, like, you know, all that personal stuff. But then, you know, at the back end of it, we can go, right, we should probably talk about the day.
Yeah,
and then,
for
you know,
sure.
we're talking about what they want. We're talking about timeline stuff. And
I think that's true. I think a lot of people put in their inquiry form, like, you know, stuff about timelines and questions and songs, and you're just like, we are a year away from having to worry about a single thing here.
Yeah.
You know, here's our pricing, here's the package, here's what we can offer. We can work around any day.
Yeah.
Within give or take.
Yeah.
We like it a certain way because it works.
Yeah.
But you know, give or take. But I know. I'm always intrigued by that interview thing with, especially I've talked to some other photographers as well. But like, I'd love to just like have the meeting and just be like, fuck no. Like, what has to happen?
Yeah,
what has to happen at that meeting?
And that's the other thing. I think that's probably one of the big reasons why we don't do it, because, you know, this is not to sound bad, but like at the end of the day, we're a business. We're not turning people away unless there's like an extreme reason to be like, no, we're not going to work with you. And I get that, you know, it's such a personal thing being involved in people's wedding day, but I think I speak for myself and for Lucy when I say that we've been doing this for closer to a decade than half a decade at this point. So it's like, I think, you know, we're pretty good at being able to just fit.
Yeah.
You know,
it'd be hard pressed to find something that was a real problem.
Yeah. And, you know, there's obviously things that come up that are a bit of a curveball, and you go, if I had known. But even that stuff, it's like, it's not necessarily going to come.
What do you mean?
I'm not going to go there. People's dirty laundry.
Trying to get the dirt. Can't get the dirt.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just like, it's like any job. When like we were talking about it before, when I used to be in pharmacy, it's like I didn't love people, like a lot of the people coming in. You know, there was those few people where you build a genuine relationship with, and you know, you love spending time with them and you love having conversations with them. And it's, you know, I feel like you're just hurting yourself if you're turning people away. And it's like you kind of said, I don't know what it would take for us to turn someone away.
I mean, I could see a million red flags like a long way out and still, you know, but it doesn't stop me going and making, they want me there.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I can see there's certain, obviously, like, I think with us I think it's more, I don't know. It's interesting now I'm thinking about it, because like, I don't know what a photographer would have to see. Because you really are kind of like trying to just be the wallpaper and capture the things and stuff like that. I can see from a musician's perspective, if someone, which I have an exact example of this coming up in a few weeks, where I've put somebody else on it, because I could see from what she was saying that I'm not that. Yeah. I was the definite wrong choice for her. And this what sounds right, but it was like an older couple, completely songs out of my wheelhouse, wanted something to happen at this point and happen to this point. And I was like, here's Isaac.
Yeah.
He'll be great for that.
Yeah.
I don't know any of those artists. I don't play the pub scene. She wanted us to sing her own, and I was just like, and I could just see it. And so I can see from that element, like, that's not going to suit me. And I'm going to be a disappointment, but this person will be great. But I don't know what a photographer.
Yeah.
Because there are some great photographers I've dealt with, like, what's his name? Jackson, I think. He's incredible. I worked with him once at Stefano Libiana, but he's like really like in there. Like he's up on ladders and like doing creative stuff with mirrors and doing backflips. And
I think I've seen this
It's
dude.
the most incredible photography
insane.
ever.
Yeah.
But it's 1 in a million.
Yeah.
It's like the rest of the people are kind of candidly capturing the day, I would say.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty accurate representation of what wedding photography is. Like, realistically, you've got like maybe 10 or 15% of the day where you're kind of constructing things how you want it or how you envision it.
Yeah.
And the rest is literally just fly on the wall type stuff.
Yes. So let's talk logistics from so you obviously get booked. How do they know if it's you? And so why has the second shooter gone out of fashion?
Well, we were talking about this a little bit before. Well, yeah, it's kind of that. You know, at the end of the day, we're both doing this full time. If we're working together, we have to charge a lot more to make it full time as opposed to, you know, if we work individually, and that's why we've ended up working individually.
Yeah. Do you like having a second shooter? Is it a benefit to your day?
I mean, it doesn't make a difference to me most days.
Yeah.
Like, we do offer, our good friend Phoebe has sort of the last couple of years been getting into weddings, and so she's been doing a bit with us. You know, we've offered the option for if people want to have a second shooter, then that's cool.
Which is a great way for upcoming photographers to also
100%. Yeah, 100%. If you can shadow someone or get in as a second shooter, then it's really good. Like, I feel minimal responsibility as a second shooter. You turn up a lot of the time, even, you know, coming with the main photographer to both getting ready sessions. If you are doing getting ready with the bride and the groom.
So that's kind of where they're very useful, I guess.
Yeah, if you've got someone that's experienced, like Phoebe is. You know, there's no issue. We can split up, and you know, it makes things a lot easier timeline wise.
Because what is on that second shooter's hard drive? You know, 2 days later, like what are they? What are they getting that you're not getting?
That's it. And this is kind of why I'm like, I think second shooters are nice to have, and I don't really think it's a must have, because it's like you say, a lot of the time, especially if they're with us for both getting ready and then the rest of the day, it's like, if I've got a second shooter, I'm always running the show because it's my responsibility to run the show.
Sure.
So, you know, they might be getting a little more candid stuff, different angles of things that are happening, but all of the main stuff is still going to be me or Lucy, I suppose, as it would be with any photographer who's got a second shooter.
Yeah.
I think the biggest advantage is if you getting married somewhere like Frogmore, for example, where the timeline can be a little bit tight after the reception, after the ceremony, before the reception, it can be awesome to have a second shooter there to sort of be there for cocktail hour with your guests.
Sure.
Obviously, bride and groom aren't going to be there, so they're not seeing what they're missing.
Yes,
you know,
they
don't know what they're missing. I think from that kind of perspective, it can be awesome to have a second shooter. But
what about even the ceremony? Because I guess the ceremony is the other point where you can get like wider. And more candid as well.
It literally just comes down to more photos. And I think for a couple who maybe want as much as they can get, you know, for a relatively marginal extra expense, especially if they're not having a videographer or a content creator or something like that, then, you know, more is more.
More is more. Are you still in charge of editing?
Yeah. So how I imagine everyone usually does it is we just grab the cards at the end of the day, we dump them on our hard drives and then return the cards, and then it's our problem. So second shooting's a great gig, especially if you either don't want the stress and the responsibility of being the main guy at a wedding, you know, or if you're just getting into it because you can.
This makes me think of there are these companies in my old company over on Lane.
This is getting a bit okay.
Well, it's one that they offer, you know, music and photography and whatever, but they and a lot of companies do this with music too, where they don't put the real name of the person that you've got coming. They're just ambiguous, and we tried it about 8 years ago, and it just didn't work for us. But that's kind of the same thing, as in you don't know if you're going to have Josh or Sarah or whatever. You just got this company shooting.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of a low stakes version too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That doesn't exist down here in Tassie though, really. I mean, the white tree will come down
Yeah.
with somebody every now and then,
Yeah.
but it doesn't exist beyond
No,
that.
and I think that's been another big learning for us running this thing as we've gone on and as we've sort of evolved, I guess, how we operate. It's always been very important to sort of make it very clear who would be there on the day, because I feel like there were a few times where we didn't really communicate as well as we could have, and then, you know, it just creates a bit of a awkward conversation when I turn up and people think they're getting both of us or something like that.
Are there people that want a female over a male? I guess there
definitely,
would be.
yeah, definitely. And especially back when we were first starting out, I don't know what it was. And I often say to Lucy, like, we never would have got to where we are without you, because back in the day, she was hot property. Everyone,
awesome.
I just want Lucy. I just want Lucy.
Yeah?
I just want Lucy.
Is that because maybe they met her on a wedding or something? Or
Yeah, I don't know. She was
'cause
definitely...
you essentially have a style as a company, right?
Yeah,
like
we're
you're not
definitely
shooting differently.
No, we're not shooting differently. Like, if anything, and I say this to Lucy all the time, like, I'm probably a little bit more boisterous and I stir people up a little bit more. But I think as a bloke at a wedding, you can get away with it. If, as a woman, as a photographer, if you're in there being as boisterous as what I am, people for some reason take it a different way.
I don't think
horrible,
anyone listening at home, I don't think he's not boisterous. He's not out there jumping around. You know?
No.
You know?
I just, you know, I try and get involved and be a little bit chirpy with people and whatever, if that's the vibe of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know for whatever reason back when our first probably 3 or 4 years, it was Lucy we were getting emails all the time asking for Lucy.
Really?
So yeah, people can ask you for
because you
a
got to
something.
these days particularly, we learned that as a company, is like they want to know, and I get that, of course, they want to know whose company. And ambiguity hasn't helped.
No.
I wish it did. It'd be a lot easier if it did. But I get it, right? But even with our DJ set, sometimes like we've done things, not too much, but recently, like we never guarantee. So once they book an artist for the singer, we're a music company that also DJs. Like, we're a performance company, and so we have this ability within our contracts to, like, you know, change the DJ if we think if we see a brief that's not going to work for one, we can bring in a different DJ. It's at the discretion of the artist, essentially. If they sit there going, I don't know how to do this, I don't know Fred again and Dom Dollar, and I'm going to eat shit. And then I go, that's all cool, man. We'll bring in Kate or whatever. But I think people are a bit like shocked when that happens. And so we are better at that now, but we're only ever doing it for either the benefit of. It actually even happens when I'm emotionally exhausted. I've outsourced myself a couple of times.
Like, I'm tapping out.
Yeah, like you've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm just like on my 5th one in a week, and I'm just like, I'm going to do a bad job tonight, so I'm going to call, you know, Seb or Lawrence, and someone's going to come and save this night.
Yeah.
And everyone's always come back on. That was great. But
Call some young buck to come and
they
rescue
don't
the
realise
energy.
I'm doing it for them. I'm not doing this because I want to lose money. I don't want to give away money. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm actually going like, I can't handle this. I'm having a bad time. They're going to have it. I'm not in the zone, because it's a zone thing. I don't think it happens as much with photography, mind you, because you can just kind of, and it's a daytime gig.
It's very different to wrangling a D floor and keeping everyone's spirits high when you're not feeling it. I feel like it must be impossible to fake it.
I don't know how that's incredible. Like you're saying, how good Hugo is at like just turning it on.
Yeah.
And obviously I've seen him, and he just but I can't imagine him on his off day. I can't imagine him when he's got.
I don't think he has off
But
days.
imagine if he's just had diarrhea and he didn't enjoy the lamb, and he's sitting there and it's 8 o'clock. And he's just like,
we're into
my
bowel
God. And then
movement chat.
Now he's got to put a hat on and go crazy.
Yeah,
because they've paid a lot for him to go crazy.
Yeah,
it's like a lot. My word. Yeah. Like, I don't know how I could. It's one of those. It's a different.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I've never worst case catastrophized that situation in my head. It's like, what do you do when you wake up that day and you're like the most sick you've ever been in your life, but you've got to go to someone's wedding and show up and give 110%. Crazy.
It's happened. I've two in 12 years I've ever dropped out of.
God.
And one was, both have been gastro.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing you can do.
Nah.
Even one recently was like last November. I was like adamant at 11. I was like, I'm fine. I can do this. And Laura's like in the background sorting out Alex to replace me and calling the bride and going like, I was like, I'll be right. I've been dead all night. And the next morning, and I was like, I'm going to get there. And then like I went to to nap or something, and then didn't wake up till 8 p.m. And she's like,
what day is it?
yeah, that's the benefit of a company, I guess, because I can kind of have those things. But you've just got to suck it up and get through it.
You do.
But you've got, I mean, again, the community down here is pretty good.
It is.
There are people you can call on if that ever happened, and there's two of you.
Yeah, and it is ultimately very unlikely that you're going to get to that point where you can't turn up. But I don't like to think about it too much.
No. So you guys out both weekends separately most of the time?
Yeah, most of the time.
Yep.
Yeah. And like we were sort of talking about before, we used to work together a lot, which I think is what helped sort of shape us into shooting in a very similar way.
Yep.
Or at least what we like is very similar. We have maybe a little bit of different ways going about it, which is just what's going to happen. You know, we're different people with different personalities, and we work with people slightly differently. But at the end of the day, I think we do it. If I took our portfolio and sat you down, you wouldn't be able to tell me who's first. No,
I bet I wouldn't.
Other than the fact that you were at some of them.
Are you overly techie?
I am.
You like
Lucy's
the gear?
not.
You like the gear? So are you like camera techie?
Yeah. I mean, like, I've always been a bit of a nerd.
Yeah.
So I love like computers, and cameras were kind of just an extension of that. And when I was learning, or when we were both learning, really, like I was the one who's sitting there looking at YouTube tutorials until all hours of the night.
Yeah.
And then
I had
trying
G
out
and Moz on here, and it was the same. G's like, I don't care. Moz is like, I just watch tutorials.
And that was the most frustrating thing for me when we started doing this, because I'd look at Lucy's photos and I know everything about, how to technically compose a photo correctly, and then I'm looking at her photos and going, why don't mine look like that?
Why is it better? That's one of those
She's
things,
just one of those freaks. And maybe it's like Moz and G as well. Like, some people just have an eye for it, and they're just naturally gifted.
Well, they're different because they do video.
Yeah.
So why don't you ever do video? Why is no one videoed?
We tried.
Did you?
I did a few, and it was just like the whole audio part of things. It did my head. The stress was insane.
I think people think all these things are pretty similar, and it's like once you get into the nitty-gritty,
they are, but not. Like when it comes down to the details, it's very different.
Yeah, you're still holding a camera looking at the same thing, but it's
it's very different.
Yeah, and
it's
all the
different.
audio stuff, my God. The editing.
People start ad-libbing a speech without the microphone turned on, and then you missed half the speech. You didn't have the camera set up.
MC the other night.
Oh, wow, he was rogue.
So I had one the other night. Again, we talk about, we rat on MCs every episode, and I'll keep doing it. I'll keep doing it.
Pay someone.
This guy, they booked me reception only, acoustic DJ, and that's fine. Love that. String quartet for the rest. Love that. I got there, speeches go a little bit long. I set up to do my kind of dinner acoustic set. 3 songs in, 35 minutes ahead of schedule. You guys are off having dinner.
Yeah.
MC just jumps into round 2 of speeches, which means acoustic set's over 4 songs.
Yeah, and jumped into speeches is like a kind way of putting it. He just started screaming, eating the microphone. Well, you were halfway through a song, and he's just like, all right,
but just not even to check in with anybody. No. And the photographers go, you guys ready to capture this?
No. And we cut him off halfway through. He was just rambling about the couple when the bridal party were going to do their entrance. And Hannah from Frogmore standing there at the back of the room for 2 minutes with a thumb up, like, come on, let's go.
It was so good. And Hannah looks at me and just goes, just start. This is a nightmare. Just start playing the music loud. And I go, okay. I just like cranked it up. Yeah, he was particularly bad, but
he was trying his best.
But he just didn't realise that the job is more than on the mic. Yeah. MC's job is to keep everybody and the whole show, the whole production happening.
Yeah.
On time if you can. But, realising that there's a kitchen, there's staff, and there's bar staff, and there's wait staff, and there's everybody in between that need to be involved in making this moment happen. It's not Nana coming for a speech. Nope. It's you capturing it. It's me packing down and getting out of the way. It's me making sure the mic's working. It's blah, blah, blah. It's the kitchen stuff. If they've cleared or not. It's everything. It's not just, g'day guys, here's bloody Carol. Get up. Carol. Wasn't it? Oh, God. It was so bad. But that's part of it.
We got through it.
So you don't do video?
No. So I probably did, 5 or 10, maybe like, oh God, it'd be 4 or 5 years ago now. Yeah, it was just too much. Like we took the bookings and it was fine and whatever else. And then, I don't think what I did was bad. It wasn't great. I mean, I'm definitely a better photographer than I am videographer. Do I think I would have got better if I stuck to it? Yeah. But is it really the best to be practicing on the job at people's weddings? No. Do I have the passion to practice outside of work? No. So I was like, I'm going to stick with what I actually love.
Totally.
And so, yeah.
Do people often ask Like, do they often get, and you just send them somebody else's way?
Yeah, like maybe 1 in 10 or 15 go, oh, do you do any video or like content creation? We just go, no, but we recommend these bloody lovely people. And yeah,
so
and then that way
many
we get
lovely
to
people
hopefully direct them to people we love working with. Not that there's many people, if any, that we don't like working with. It's just we have a few on a short list. Everyone's got those short lists.
Everyone's got a short list,
Yeah.
man, especially down here in Tassie.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
That's funny. So you're mostly doing 8-hour packages. You're often separate on your own. You don't bring. When I say techie before, I mean like you don't. You're probably one of the few that doesn't bring a heap of like lighting. And
Nah,
stuff
we're
either.
operating out of a backpack, mate.
Why is that? Why is that?
Well,
is that a choice?
Yeah, just keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. So you don't need them?
Nah.
You don't need the lights? Is that more of a video thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think like especially those constant off-camera lights, there's definitely a video thing. Like we can get around that with those flashes that we have on our camera. It's a much more lightweight, simple way of doing things. And I do know that some photographers have off-camera flash or they'll have off-camera constant lights for things like the dance floor.
Like this guy does.
Yeah. Like they'll just have a big pole with a light on top of it for first dance or something. And I think that creates some really cool atmospheric stuff. But it's just not really ever something that we've ventured into, and maybe we're missing a trick by not doing it, but also at the same time, I think the way we're doing things now for both of us is we're creating a pretty repeatable process and product as a result of it. So, you know, it's just kind of the way that things have gone.
Yeah, for sure, man. And that's the thing. I think as long as you're nailing the job, like who cares? Like someone talked to me about DJ gear, and they were like, "Oh, like I changed my rig a little while ago to a worse rig in theory."
Yeah.
From a perspective, I have found it to be a lot more useful.
Yeah.
And why would you do that? Well, it's because it's freaking working.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to do anything. If it's working, it's working.
Yeah,
You're busy
right.
all the time. We are going to crack a wine.
Yes, it's 12 o'clock. Oh, it's 12 o'clock.
Yay. So we always
We've only been talking about 3 or 4 years of having a wine together.
That's exactly it.
So we finally got it.
For years we've been talking about having wine together. We're always on site at these lovely places and we always quickly get like a glass as we roam around doing our actual jobs. But we've got to have a wine one day. And he was like, let's do it. Like he goes, let's do it there. I go, we're starting at 11. We can't bloody just get into it.
We can.
But now it's 12. So we definitely can. So we've got a Dr. Edge Pinot Noir, Pinot Rain, 2024. He makes this up the road in Cambridge.
Funky looking
It's one
label.
of my favourite things.
Funky
I had it
looking
for the
label.
first time at the Agrarian Kitchen.
Oh, nice.
And with a delicious Agrarian Kitchen meal. And Laura and I were there and we were just like...
It's got to be high praise getting your wine served at the Agrarian
I mean,
Kitchen.
come
Like,
on. I know, right? Do you like shooting there?
I actually haven't shot a wedding there.
Has Lucy shot a wedding there?
I don't think so. Which is, it's another one of those weird things. The amount of weddings that we've done between us, probably over 400 weddings now, and to still have places that we haven't ticked off the list. It's kind of a little bit
super
frustrating.
cool there, man. It's really cool for shooting there too.
Yeah.
Like you'd absolutely love it. Cheersies, mate.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming along.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Pinot Rain. I love it. I love it. The tennis finished on Sunday. I was like, cool, having a few nights off the booze. And then I was like, no, I'm drinking at 12. Let's do it.
Screw it. We're all adults here.
What's your delivery? So let's talk about, so let me just go over, because I just want to, because we could chat away all day about all kinds of things. But I want to check that I'm doing the right job. And again, this is one of those things that if you've ever listened to the show that I should edit out, and I don't.
No, that's
I like to show how the sausage is made.
Yep, that's one way of phrasing it.
Do you know what I mean?
I can appreciate that.
Oh, lovely.
It's very nice.
So basically, people are contacting you about that. Pricing's on your website, which is a great start.
Yep.
Most common is 8 hour. You like the can of stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think about the group photo? You're good at wrangling a group photo. Man. Everyone in the world hates group photo.
I fucking hate the group.
Everyone hates
I
the
think
group photo.
if anyone's listening to this,
You just gotta
don't
do
take it personally. If you want it, cool. If you don't, I love you. As to couples, that's who I'm.
I have seen you
doing.
in some precarious ladders.
Mate,
and,
I was halfway down the hill at Frogmore on Saturday. Did you see that?
No,
I
I
had
didn't see
Hannah
it.
standing on the bottom rung so that I didn't go rolling away down the hill.
Really?
Yeah, and the guests are all standing there. They've all got their sunnies on, man. You're like, take them off. And they go, don't
I
take
will
'em.
say, and from an advice perspective, again, you got to get it quick.
Yeah.
Don't try and get them back later. It never works, right?
It's either we do it straight after the ceremony and completely kill the vibe, or we do it later and we're just going to be missing half your guests because they're in the toilet or they're at the bar.
And
I think it does. Like I was talking to a couple the other day who were kind of not fussed either way about it. And I said, look, I'm happy to do it. and Loose is the same. We're happy to do it.
Of course.
If people want it,
gig.
especially.
It's part of the gig.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we're never going to say no.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, it's one of those things. We're going to spend 5 to 10 minutes waiting for people, wrangling everyone together, especially if we wait more than a couple of minutes after the ceremony.
Yeah.
Even if we do it right after the ceremony and have everyone there, it's going to kill the vibe.
Yeah.
Because you've gone from hugging and kissing people to all of a sudden you're staring into the sun looking at the photographer because you can't really deal with, you're only dealing
I see
with
what
what
you're
you got to
saying
say.
there. It's kind of like a love squash.
It
just kind of goes
saps
from
all of the love out of the room.
Yeah, it's
Really,
true.
it does.
It's true.
And it's, from the time that we've spent doing that, you could have, it's the difference between getting around everyone to say thanks for coming, oh my God, you look amazing, to, getting to speak to 20 people and then all of a sudden we're off Champagne Tower, have a drink, we're going, family photos.
Yeah. Do you like a champagne tower?
Love it.
Good photos.
Yeah, I love it. I haven't seen one fall over yet, but I'm waiting for it.
Oh, it happens. It really does happen.
I haven't seen it yet.
But I also just think that just is a cool photo.
It's cool.
Especially
Yeah.
if you don't have to. I like. Obviously, if you do the Joseph Burton like amazing performance one, but even just it's just a cool little nod to get everybody together.
It is, and
After
it
that
gets,
ceremony.
gets the hype going.
Yeah, gets the vibe going
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right in that group photo. Like if you don't do it quick, so you got like 3 or 4 different personality types that want it. Like Sunnies. There's the conversation people that just want to talk because they've seen somebody from across the thing and they want to do that.
Yeah.
And then you've got the like, I need to pee person. And then you've got the I'm dying for a drink person. And they all just run away.
Yeah.
And if you don't wrangle them
Yeah.
within
Yeah.
seconds,
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
And where do you stand on like the family photo? Like, are you like a nice clean list, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Somebody in charge?
100%. Yeah.
Or you in charge?
Either. I'm usually, like, I'm not super, like, I don't need them to have somebody, but I always say, who can I grab? And it's not like necessarily always something that we organise beforehand, but I always, and Lucy's the same. We always get a list of family photos or even other group photos you want, like groups of mates or whatever, because it's just the one part of the day that it makes no sense, but it will be stressful. It will drag on for longer than you think. And
100%.
you're going to hate it.
Yeah. And it's absolutely true. But the thing about them is like everyone needs
They're
it 'cause
so important,
They are
but
so
at the same
important.
time.
They are so important because the auntie needs it. It's the one that the auntie's going to blow up and share and have on the thing, like
because it's the one photo all day where she thinks she looks good.
And she's with the bride and groom on their own.
Exactly.
They love that stuff.
Yeah. But no, like obviously, especially for, that sentimental value, family photos are incredibly important. It's why we do it. It's why we prioritize it right after the ceremony before we even take the couple or the bridal party. So it's just one of those things. It's a necessary evil, as much as I hate to call it that. But yeah, I think as if you can make it even a little bit more efficient by having somebody to wrangle people so that you've got the next combination
You should add that
ready.
into your questionnaire.
Yeah, we
you
do.
Should be
we
like,
do.
Just
Yeah,
be like,
we
yo,
do.
can you please get somebody who's in charge of this, print it out, and now Tina's on.
Get 3 copies, give it to so and so.
Get a Tina or
Yeah,
whatever, so
I mean we've had a section in our final details questionnaire that we send out a week before for ages with that, so then we can literally just copy paste.
Are you
it.
using like a CRM kind of thing? With
Studio Ninja
G-Doc
thing? Yeah. So it's not a Google Doc, but it's literally just like it sends out an email with a link and it goes to the platform like in the client portal, and it's got little
And you have payment plans and stuff too.
Yeah.
They're all through Studio Ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
So that goes from the family photo, and then you're off to the shoot. How long do you like for this for the portrait shoot? Are you longer is better, less is more?
Less is more, always. I think. I say, especially for the guys, like if the groom is usually the one, if it's bride-groom relationship or wedding, I suppose, is always the one that's going to be dragging his feet towards the end of it. Like most blokes don't love having their photo taken. That's just the reality of it. And I felt the same at our wedding. I get it. I get it. But yeah, we'll usually do bridal party first before we do the couple.
So what does that mean? That means they're coming with the bride. The whole crew's
we're taking
coming.
the crew. We're taking the crew. We're going to keep the energy going. We've just done. Someone's just sculled a bottle of wine. We've just done a champagne tower. Whatever's going on. We'll bring the crew. Keep the good times going. And maybe we've got 10 or 15 minutes with the bridal party, just to get the classic formal portraits. Everyone smiling at the camera, and then we'll do a couple of silly things, maybe.
Strange things.
Yeah, kind of have a little bit of fun with it.
Legs up,
you know.
Toyota.
Yeah,
Toyota Hilux.
my favorite one lately is, all right, you guys make out, and the rest of you like crowd around them and just abuse them. It seems to be relating with people for some reason.
That's
people
good.
resonate.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there are a few
fun.
trends. The trends change.
Yeah, definitely.
There's one at the moment. There's a trend of like the stopping halfway down the aisle on the way back up the aisle.
Oh, the dip kiss halfway down. Yeah, that's gone nuts the last couple of years.
Trend. I like that.
They often look bad, but when they do look good, it's good. I think when people just practice your dip kiss before your wedding day.
Your advice, everybody.
So then we don't get the back of your head.
Yes, interesting. Yeah, okay.
Side on, good. Back of head, no.
And then the portrait shoot, you're just taking them probably for another 10 minutes or so after that.
Like maybe 20, I think, is probably a pretty safe bet. Like if it's I always say to people, if it's a super sunny day, I think we'll probably tend to do a little bit less right in between that sort of ceremony to reception gap, and we'll do a little bit more at sunset. But if it's a cloudy day and it looks like, man, we're not going to get any golden hour or sunset, we might do a little bit more.
Yeah, so you're big on the sunset shoot?
Yeah, 100%.
I love the sunset shoot. I love it for the bride and groom as well, because I tell you, sometimes they don't even see each other.
Yeah.
And if I think it's a great secondary, good for everybody way of 100%. Going, hey guys, I know I don't want to take you away from your party.
Yeah.
But actually, you can talk to each other for 10 minutes.
It's one of those things. They're together all day, but they're not really together. Like, you don't get a chance to actually stop and breathe and just check in with how your new husband or wife is going. Yeah. Like, this is one of the biggest days of your lives together, and the irony is that you barely spend any time actually reflecting.
They're insane things. Think about every dinner party that you have. Yeah. Like, I'm not sitting next to Laura at Chinwag. I'm sitting with everybody else, right? Yep. And you're meant to be together. But also, think about a dinner party with like 80 of them. And you're like, oh, like the idea. You end up, like any party, right? You end up finding 5 people. And maybe if you're there for a long time, you'll find maybe another 2 or 3. You'll have 2 good conversations and you won't get around the rest.
Yep.
The idea that there's this day that all of a sudden you've got to nail that and tick like some kind of time thing with 80 people, it just doesn't happen. So.
And, you go off for photos after the ceremony, before the reception, and people are still stressed. They've got to dance later. They've got to do their speeches later. Yep. Whereas, once you've sat down, had dinner, had a couple of wines, especially if you've, overindulged, then people just get a little bit loose and they, they're not super rigid. They don't care anymore that you're pointing a camera at them. They're just hanging out, and it's more natural. Like, people are just engaging with each other. Mm-hmm. And often when we'll go out at sunset or for golden hour or whatever, it's one of those things where we don't have to give as much instruction to people because A, we've already done a little bit earlier in the day and they know what they're in for. Yep. And B, it's like they are just more comfortable. Yeah. Like, they do not care anymore.
They also know it's only going to be a little bit.
Yeah. When you preface it by, we're going for 5 or 10 minutes, that's it. We're coming back and then we're just going to have a boogie. Like, that's cool.
True, man. Yeah. Where do you stand on the first look? With all this in mind, because everything you said there makes me think you're going to be so anti-first look. But is that true, or are you pro-first look?
Yeah, no, I don't love it.
You don't love it? Why don't you love it? Because some people love it.
I think it serves a purpose, but I think, and it is really good. Again, I kind of mentioned this earlier for venues like Frogmore, where you've got really limited time between.
The best fucking venue ever. By the way.
It is fantastic.
We love it. We're there together almost every week.
We're literally.
Are we there together this week as well?
Are you there once or twice this week?
I'm there twice this week and twice next week.
Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Sunday.
I'm there on Friday and Saturday.
And you were there last?
And I was there on Saturday last week and Sunday the week before.
Yeah, we were there for all those together.
So 4 and 3 weeks. Don't get me wrong, I bloody love the place.
And we do know how to make it work.
And the people. But it's just, it's one of those things where it's very efficient, very streamlined. Whereas, the one I did on Sunday a few weeks ago, we had a first look and it was awesome because we didn't have to duck off for photos in between. But at the same time, the photos are just not as good.
Yeah. And why do you think that is? What is that reason?
People are super tense, especially, again, not to shit on grooms, but, it's typically them that are more nervous about.
We're just going to shit on grooms for a bit, yeah? Yeah, they are.
Hold my beer. Yeah. No, but they're more often than not the ones that are nervous about getting up the front and talking about mushy stuff in front of people. Yeah. Like, that's the reality of it. And, when you specifically putting aside half an hour, an hour beforehand for photos with a first look, it's like, cool, great, love it. We'll get heaps. You won't have to do it in between when you should be enjoying cocktail hour with your guests. And I think that's the biggest advantage. People are just going to be more tense. because, you know, we haven't had that time to really get into a flow together throughout the day. You know, we haven't got your vows out of the way. You're not married. So there's still all that underlying anxiety about what's to come.
Yeah. It would actually be so interesting to see as a percentage of like all wedding couples shot in a year.
Yeah.
That did to the first look, like how many of those end up as their favourite shots? You know what I mean? Like it'd be so interesting to see that. Not
that is a good call.
It's a metric that you can't ever measure.
No, you wouldn't be.
I kind of am at the point that they definitely serve a purpose, and if you like to party and want to be at the party like longer, definitely if that's your thing, like if you want to be there all day, just do it. But it's I don't think it would ever be like a better photo than the sunset version.
No, and I think like if we were to do a first look, we're always still going to try and go out at sunset. Like it's obviously weather dependent, but it's just. At the end of the day, it's like we were talking about before with the group photo. If you want a first look, hell yeah, let's do it. Yeah. But is it my preference? Not really. But at the same time, it does actually make it less stressful for us when we do a first look because we don't have to worry about it. We can just hang out. We can have a drink with your guests and chat to people and whatever and schmooze people a little bit and fit in. So
I had a horror story at Agrarian with a photographer who I won't name because she's lovely. But she didn't do a portrait shoot because they were like, we'll just do sunset.
Yeah.
And
I think I heard about this.
And then speeches went over.
I think you might have told me.
Well, I would have told you because I was on the night. I got up and stopped the MC from doing the next speech because I knew that if I didn't do that, they wouldn't have any shots together. But she was in the position of which she'd made that call without kind of having anything in the back pocket. Yeah, thinking that it was all going to work out, and then it just didn't.
Well, it's like we were talking about before. MCs can be very unpredictable and unreliable.
Yeah, and the speeches went really, really long, and they were lovely speeches. But it was like it was about 8:15, and he was about to crack another. Yeah, and I was like, hey, I was in charge of the mic. I think I just muted it, and I was like, I'm just gonna stop you there, mate. They got to go out. I'm really sorry. Say to everybody, we're just gonna have a 15-minute break, and then because super thankful that
and
happened.
Again, this is one of those things where the couple aren't paying you for that. They're not paying you to run the day, but it's like it's the same as I think when you book a good photographer, you book a good musician, you book a good celebrant. People are just gonna rescue this shit or bring stuff up that you didn't even think about. Yeah, like it's why. Yeah,
it's the art form of you don't realize. And this is going to sound egotistical, but I don't mean it to be. But like, not being noticed and just getting it done. Mm-hmm. Takes so long and so much experience. That is the trick.
Oh my God, can I tell you? Like I have fucking nightmares about this to this day. It's sort of similar story around sunset. Like we had done photos earlier in the day, but this sunset was like once every few years, one of those ones that was just insane. Yeah. And like the couple were gorgeous and the setting was insane. And it was like we were missing it. So speeches were happening. We're all sitting down and I'm just sitting there looking at my watch, tapping my feet like, come on, we gotta go. And it was the bride's dad was doing his speech, right? So he finishes up.
It was a big one.
It was a big one. Yeah, very big one. And you don't want to be that guy that's like, all right, Dad, just shut up. We got to go for some photos. I'm going to make it about me for 5 minutes. Yeah. But yeah, I'll never forget because I went and tapped the bride on the shoulder just after he'd finished. I was like, we should, like, if you want to go for sunset, we got to go now. Like, we're going to miss it. Yeah. And I'm like, it was already mostly gone. Yeah. So we did nearly miss it. And then she's like, yeah, can I just go and hug my dad first? And I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah. So that's one of those things that you learn it's like, it's not about you, bro.
You'll never do it again. You'll wait on the edge and you do it. Man, the other day I fucked up. I played, it wasn't an important moment. They had a flower boy thing. Mm-hmm. When there's two older men that kind of do something funny.
Yeah, lean into their feminine side.
Young. They kind of, when,
they got the mum bags.
But they'd emailed me the night before and go, yeah, can you do 1,000 miles? Yeah. And I was doing my list and I had 3 that weekend and it was the night before and I'm just teeing it up and then I played 1,000 Years by Christina Perri, which is not the same.
No, not the same vibe.
And G, the lovely G from De Leone, was at the top of the stairs looking at me at Phil Howard and going, 1,000 miles. So I'm like sweating. And it was all by Spotify. Again, I hate all this stuff because I like being able to play and I could come on the fly. And I was like, what? She's like, 1,000 miles. And I'm like, oh, no. So I then tether my phone to Bluetooth, connected to the internet. In doing so, the song stopped.
Oh, no.
And then I go 1,000, nothing came up. Then it finally hit. So they're walking down now in silence. And then I finally got 1,000 miles, and it goes, and then I just turn it down. I go, fucking sorry. You know? So I'll never fuck that up again. But they didn't care at all. They came over and gave me a hug after. They were laughing their ass off because it made it funnier.
Yeah.
And thank God. I've never messed that up ever before. But again, it was late night request through, and there's a whole bunch of things. But 1,000 miles, it's just life. Life happens.
This is what
it was so funny.
So
Man. She was yelling at me, and G was laughing her ass off, and I was just like, and then it happened again later that night. Someone asked for something by Fetty Wap, and now I've never heard
Jesus
of Fetty Wap.
Christ.
And I played it, and it was Snoop Dogg with Fetty Wap. It was the wrong version. I was just like, well, I'm sorry I don't know my Fetty Wap, and you should have told me yesterday.
What kind of musician are you?
That was my DJing.
Get your shit together.
I can't always have it, but God, I mean, you learn.
Yeah.
You do that once.
Yeah.
I'll never ever play 1,000 miles and not 1,000 years again.
Yeah,
And
it's the criminal reality of weddings. Unfortunately, you're learning on the job.
Yeah.
The job just happens to be one of the biggest days of a lot of people's lives.
But there's no way around it. You can't. Put a school on and be like, this is how it's going to go.
No. And all you can do is apologise.
Yeah, and we do that with all our DJs.
Yeah,
when
all
we're
you can
training
do is
DJs.
apologise.
It's like when they're following a brief and it's not working. Now I have the experience to go, this is bombing. I need to get out of here. But a younger DJ who's sitting there going like, I've been told to play this. This is what they want. They would 8 out of 10 stick to the brief. Don't take requests.
Don't you dare.
Right? They're just going to stick to it.
Yep.
Whereas I'm just going to go up to the bride and go, hey, this is bombing. The only people that want to dance, they don't want to hear this, they want to hear this. It was like the other night. Were you there on Saturday?
Yeah.
And this chick kept coming up and going,
play something for the oldies.
play something for the oldies. And I was like, well, none of the oldies are anywhere near here.
Nah. And then you played something for the oldies. You played bloody September. And
I played September,
you
Staying
played
Alive, and
you played
Gimme
some Queen
Gimme.
and some ABBA and whatever. And they're all just, then they stand over there bopping in the corner, like not on the dance floor.
They want some Bon Jovi. And I was like,
fuck that.
I was like, not happening, mate. Because I had 30 people going berserk on the dance floor.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just...
You got to curate for the people who are actually there, you know.
Put on Bon Jovi and then just have everybody fucking... Anyway, it's one of those things, mate. You got to do the job for the job. Where do you stand on the first dance? Do you like to be around for DJ shots and stay later and all that stuff?
I love it. Yeah, I love it. We usually try and... Not to say that we're designing the timeline, but we usually try and sort of design our timeline for the day so that we're going to be there for maybe 15, 30 minutes at dance floor. Sometimes it ends up being an hour and that's fine, but a lot of the time it's like, if we're there for longer than half an hour of dancing, people either go off, like on Saturday night, the oldies disappear and they just go and sit down and chat, or people just get more sweaty and more drunk and more
I've always said
compromised.
that. I've always said like the little kids doing the worm in the first 10 and you've got it. After that, it's either a great night.
I will say the only thing that we seem to miss sometimes is when the bride and groom will get up on people's shoulders.
Oh, but everyone's going to always miss that.
Yeah, and that's like phone video stuff. And I love when it happens when we're there. And I always like...
Sorry.
You're right, just splash some wine on my hand.
That's how we do it on the Ring It On podcast, No, I've got a theory on this because I don't think there is any purpose paying you as much as photographers cost to stay, because that is a great shot that lots of people should have. But I think somebody who's responsible should be allocated, like post 9 o'clock, like get some footage, get some shots.
Yeah,
I've got this whole theory. I'm like,
I agree.
Give someone the job.
Yeah.
Of like, it gives them something to do. They might not be the most sociable or talkative person. Give your little cousin who doesn't want to be there, a camera or an iPhone. Who cares, right? And can you just get like 50 shots or something? Because there are all these moments that happen, and I get a lot of them obviously on my phone, and I send them to the couples if they ask.
Yeah,
especially
I love your little videos.
The dumbest videos in the world, but like sparkler exits and stuff like that. I'll often follow the couple out the door, do little things like that and send it to the next day just so they have it. But like, it's not a bad shout because there is only so much you can do if, let's say, a 9 to 11 dance floor, the dream dance floor time. Yeah. If you're there till 9:30, or it's an 8:30 till 11 dance floor, and you're there till 9. That shoulder's not until 10:30.
Yeah.
It's just not happening.
Or like if you care about it, just do it earlier if you really want a photo of it. Like
I've got a theory on this. I'll push back on that because I think the fake dancing photos are the worst. Can I tell you?
Yeah.
This is happening. I don't know what to say to you guys out there. I don't know what to say. But because your photographer's leaving at 9, there's no need to put on a performance just to get the shot because it looks inauthentic. We've been talking about this the whole time. I think the thread of this whole thing is authenticity.
Yeah.
Because I have seen
Wow,
couples,
you've done well to pull this together.
I've seen, it's my job. It's my job. I'm a professional. I have seen couples, you know, like honestly performing, like trying to be like, you know, do like a thing and the groom's just like, ugh, and the bride's, you know, and they get these 30 minutes of shots and I was just like, oh, and then, you know, an hour later or two, they're actually in it.
Yeah.
And they don't look anything like that.
Yeah.
And everybody's around them and there's love in the air.
Yeah.
And that's what a good photo is, right?
Yeah.
You know, like if you equate it to like a war photography,
Yeah.
you know, a little kid running down from away from a bomb
Yeah.
is this amazing photo because you.
Well, I mean, weird choice of example, John, but okay.
It's my specialty. It's the
I get what you mean, though. Yeah, it's real. We're not
real.
faking bombing some
It's
poor
real.
kid's village.
It's a real. If you ask him to run away from the bomb 2 hours later when it's not there, and you put the bomb in post,
Yeah, it's
not
not quite
as
the
good a
same. No, it's not quite the same. The fear in his eyes.
that's a perfect analogy.
Jesus
How many
Christ.
photos are you delivering to people?
I think seeing as Spotify started this whole your year wrapped trend that now everyone seems to do, I think it was Spotify that started it. I don't know if I'm falsely crediting. But
What do you mean that everyone seems to do?
Well, I was going to say because our our online gallery service is now doing it. Like so when in
Your
the
wedding
2025
wrapped?
yeah pretty much
This is Studio Ninja?
no, so this is PickTime, so that's like our online gallery service.
So you have to upload everything to PickTime.
Yeah, so that's how we deliver things. So it's a little bit more professional than just putting it on Dropbox or Google Drive. But yeah, it's like you know, you open it up, you click the link, you can send the link to your friends and family, and then I think PickTime is probably the most commonly used because it is the best in my opinion. There's a couple of options, but the others are kind of just they're halfway there.
Is that when they get the email being like someone shared a gallery with you?
Yeah,
and you have to have a login or something.
Yeah, and like people often get it confused that they need a password for the thing, but it's just actually you just have an account that you made back in the day for someone else's web. But anyway, yeah, it's we get this email and it's like your stats for the year or whatever.
Stats.
And I think our average delivered photos was like 1,050 or 1,100 or something like that. So I know there's lots of people who are like that's way too much, but to me and to Lucy, we've always said, you know, we're not really in the business of deciding which 600 photos are the best 600 photos from your wedding because that's incredibly subjective. So we just take a heap of photos and you get all the good ones. That's how we've always
So you get all the good ones. So you're shooting way more than that.
Yeah.
That's the good ones.
Yeah. We probably do like 4K average for a wedding day. And a lot of that is like, you know, a little bit of anxiety and just hold the button down for this one photo. But you know, it's like I'd rather take 10 photos of one thing and get one good photo because the amount that it happens where you take one photo and it's like, no, his eyes were closed.
So back in the day, I used to always ask photographers for like all of them.
Yeah.
Send you through that proof sheet.
Yeah.
It used to be called.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, we definitely don't do proofing or anything like that.
No.
And
But like I used to get like proof sheets and I used to say like, here's my 4 favorites, but just send me. I know you're going to edit those ones, but just send me everything because there'd be one where I was just like doing something dumb.
Yeah.
That's useful for something else.
Yeah.
You know, like, and photographers hate it because you guys are professionals.
And then you go, oh, you've picked my 4 least favorite photos.
Yeah. Well, again, I do think that photographers, it's actually really important that you say that because it is subjective. Photographers, in my experience, not being a model.
No, you try.
No, I used to have to obviously.
I've got some good photos of you on Saturday night. With those new Temu glasses.
I looked to see them. I've actually added. Yes, I've added Temu glasses to my set. Check this out.
Oh dear, they're on hand. They're on hand. Oh yeah, baby.
Coming along now.
Oh yeah, baby.
Because there's someone I'm just feeling awkward, or the guests are feeling awkward.
Hide. Oh, the old speed dealers. Hell yeah, baby.
Just like
look at this guy.
Having something to do.
Straight off the decks. Time to go run a triathlon.
I bought them all off Temu because it's about having something to do with your hands and covering it. You know, it's not for me. It's more if someone's.
It's like you handed me a pair on Saturday night, and I've got my glasses on and these really trendy red glasses, and I can't see anything.
They were. I think I got 10 pairs for $8 from Temu.
Yeah.
So the environment's trashed.
Yeah,
but everyone's happy.
Thank you, China.
It's like those foam things. Poor Gussie got attacked.
God.
With the
Yeah.
foam
Okay.
things.
Bloody hell.
But I can't remember where I was. I was saying something about something, but.
Yeah, I actually can't remember where we're at now. It's probably the side effect of the wine.
Maybe it is.
1.5 glasses.
No, but it was just one of those things about dance floors and.
We were rambling on.
We're rambling on. Well, so yes, no, delivering. You don't know what your best is.
Oh, that's right.
Exactly,
Yeah, that's where we were.
You might be
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
something.
gotcha.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So okay, well that's good. I feel like I'm bringing it back home. As my job is meant to do.
Yeah.
Because you guys are great, and
Thanks.
you're very very popular.
Thanks.
And I think you've got a good system going on, in the sense that you're always a rock solid. Like, yeah, I like the way you think about it.
Yeah.
I like that it's well thought through. It's always top quality.
Yeah. Thank you.
And you're always nice to have on site. I think that's a big part of it too. Like, you're nice with the guests, and such a big part
It's
of
just such an
photography.
easy win. Don't be a dick to people. It's not about you if you're a vendor. It's not about you. Just like have fun.
Yeah,
Even
enjoy
if
the
it's
day.
not your vibe or whatever, like just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And go and find that uncle that is inevitably there that knows more about photography than you do.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you about it.
Yeah. He's got the Canon.
He's
strapped on.
He's got it. Don't worry about it.
Strapped on. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show,
No, thank
and
you
I
very
really
much.
appreciate it. It's been lovely to actually have a chat, not on the job for once.
Finally having this wine
And
that we've talked
absolutely,
talked
and definitely
about.
book Lou and Low for your wedding.
Yeah, if you like our stuff.
Everyone
no
likes
no
your
pressure.
stuff. It's really good, man. Thanks so much. Give it up for Lochie from Lou and Low, everybody.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.